Boucher, and it's one away here in the top of the 8th. Leon Wagner. Hitless so far in this ball game, as are all the rest of the Cardinals. Hard ground ball to Ed Boucher. Waves the pitcher off. He'll make the unassisted put out. That's 2 away. And now here comes Stan the Man. We'd indicated to you. Musial probably would pinch hit for Flood. Here he comes. Here's a fellow who this year, starting this season, has a lifetime batting average of .337. The first pitch, big swing. And with every pitch that this man throws, the roar goes up from these 33,000 fans here today. This year, Musial is a .264 hitter, 12 runs batted in, 3 home runs, 3 doubles. Has his name in the record book in some 38 departments. He takes that pitch. Ball 1, strike 1, 2 out. Man, oh man. Ball 1, strike 2. It was Musial who last year, within the space of just a few days, not only ruined a no-hitter out here, but ruined run out of the West Coast against San Francisco. And also against Mike McCormick of the San Francisco Giants this year. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3. Holy mackerel. Oh! Musial strikes out. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. And again, more than 30,000 fans at Wrigley Field stand up and give Don Cardwell a tremendous ovation as he walks off the field. At the end of the top of the 8th inning, the Cubs come to bat with a score. Cubs 4, St. Louis nothing. I guarantee you, I'm just as excited as everybody out here, but I'd like to take just a moment to ask you a question. Are you planning a drive in the country or a trip? Well, make it a happy motoring experience by stopping at an Oklahoma station on the way for a free Oklahoma road map covering that vicinity in which you'll be traveling. And while you're at it, put a Tiger in your tank for surging power and added mileage. Drive in at that sign of Oklahoma. All right, Jack.
Jack Brickhouse back with you once again now as we go into the Cub half of the 8th. Stan Musial has gone to first base. Flood is out of the ball game, and Bill White has moved to center field. The batter is Boucher. Cubs out in front by a score of 4-0. There's a very high foul ball. And third baseman Kenny Boyer has it, out number 1. Here's Ernie Banks. He got a home run the last time up. One away. Nobody on. Score of the ball game, the Cubs 4, St. Louis nothing. The outfield of the left and deep naturally on Banks. There is strike 1. Well, of course, it's impossible to imagine a more excited crowd than we have right now. 1-1. Some time ago, they started a cheer on every pitch that Cardwell made. 1-1. Last half of the 8th. There's a ground ball out to the third baseman Boyer. A few steps toward first, then the throw. Picked out of the dirt by Musial. And Banks is out. That's 2 down. Here comes the Moose. 2 out, nobody on. Come on, Moose. Gotta walk the last time up. Strike one. Lindy McDaniel and Cardwell, both starting pitchers, have really had some fun today. 1-1. McDaniel had a shutout going until the Cubs turned in the 5th inning. Then they got one, then 2 more in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th. Now we're in the 8th. 1-1. That bounces in. Ball 2, strike 1. The Cubs have gotten 7 hits off Lindy McDaniel. Ball 2, strike 1. Catcher in that picture is Hal Smith. Foul ball. 2-2. The Cardinals with Wagner, White, and Cunningham in left, center, and right. Boyer. Shannon, Spencer, and Musial, the infield from 3rd to 1st. There's a ground ball to the left of second. Pick up the throw by Darrell Spencer, who has moved over to shortstop. 3 up and 3 down. Well, you know what's on everybody's mind now. The score of this ball game at the end of 8 full innings is the Chicago Cubs 4, the St. Louis Cardinals nothing. We have a pinch hitter now as we go into the 9th inning for the Cardinals. Carl Sawatsky, one of the catchers, is going to pinch hit in place of regular catcher Hal Smith. All right, Cardwell, all set. Here we go. It's the 9th inning. Fastball fouled into screen, strike 1. Sawatsky is hitting .278. He has 10 hits this year, 2 doubles and 2 home runs. One of the homers against the Cubs. We'll no doubt get a pinch hitter for Lindy McDaniel, and then the leadoff man Cunningham will be up. George Crowe has picked up a bat. He'll bat in place of McDaniel. The score is 4-0 in favor of the Cubs, and it's strike 1 in the 9th inning. Don Cardwell, 24 years old, getting a sign from veteran catcher Del Rice, trying to steer this kid past this 9th inning. Watch it. Fastball high outside. Ball 1, strike 1. His best pitch is his fastball. His curve has never been known to be an outstanding major league type curve. His slider has great possibilities, and he does throw a good change-up pitch. But the fastball is the trick with this guy so far. There's a fastball swung on. 1-2. Ball 1, strike 2. Over 33,000 throats responding on every pitch. Watch it. Fastball. There's a well-hit ball deep to right. It is caught by Altman. Oh, brother. Woo! Man. Sawatsky gave that one a very good ride, and George Altman went all the way back to the right field wall and made a one-handed grab. That's the best ball they've hit on him yet. Now here is Crowe. And I can remember this guy breaking up a no-hitter on Hacker with a homer up at Milwaukee a few years ago. George Crowe. 1 out. Fastball high outside, ball 1. Crowe is a .250 hitter at this point. He has 3 hits all year in 12 at-bats. All 3 hits are singles. Ball 1. 1 out, 9th inning. High outside, another fastball. Ball 2, 2-0. Time is called as Rice takes a few steps out in front of the plate. And Cardwell calls him out all the way. Ball 2, no strikes. Ball 2. That's a fastball strike. He finally got that ball down. He's throwing that fastball high and outside on the first 2 pitches to Crow. He got one in there high to Sawatsky and got away with it as a result of Altman's good catch. That's a well-hit ball, but it's in the field. Ashburn backs up. He's there. Ritchie has it. Oh, brother. 2 out. Joe Cunningham is the batter. Everybody in the ballpark is standing up. Ladies and gentlemen, if the miracle takes place, Vince Lloyd will be down there. He's leaving now. And we'll grab this guy on our home plate camera. Cunningham, the batter. Cardwell fires. That's a fastball outside. Ball 1. Cunningham is hitless in 3 at-bats today in this second game. And he has 3 for 14 in the series. Joe Cunningham, 2 out. Last half of the ninth. 1 more now. Foul ball up into the screen. 1-1. 1 more out, and we will have witnessed the most sensational break-in that any pitcher has ever had with a ball club in the history of this game. One and one. Here it comes. Inside. Ball 2, strike 1. Ball 2, strike 1. Rice gives his signal. Fastball, high inside. He turned away from ball 3. Ball 3, strike 1. Up till now, he has faced 1 over the minimum number of batters. He gave up a walk to Grammas in the first inning. Grammas has been the only base runner against Cardwell so far. Ball 3, strike 1. Come on, Don, get it in there. That is a strike. And here's Cunningham hollering his head off to the umpire, Tony Benson. Ball 3, strike 2, 2 out. 9th inning. Watch it. There's a drive on the line to left field. Come on, Moose. He did it. He did it. Moran made a fabulous catch. It's a no-hitter. A no-hitter. And what a catch that Moran made. Oh, brother, what a catch he made. They're swarming all over him down there. Vince Lloyd jumping in there with the Andy Frain ushers. We're trying to get him for an interview. Fans streaming onto the field. Don Cardwell has just thrown a no-hitter in the most fabulous break-in in the history of baseball for a pitcher just joining a club. Now you see Cardwell being escorted through this mob of milling fans over where we're trying to get him on the WGN TV camera and for WGN radio. It may be getting out of hand there. It is really something. People coming out of the stands, pouring onto the field. We have, as you see, quite a squad of WGN television personnel and Andy Frain ushers trying their best to maneuver this guy over to our camera. But you have to wonder if it's possible to do it at this point.
Get him out of here. We got it done.
Notice this wide shot. You can see how many thousands of people are pouring out there. And
Here it is now. We got room. All right, get out of here now. Let him get out of here.
Done.
Let's give it to Vince. He's got a microphone on his hand.
Don, we are now on television and radio. And I know that all you want to do is get away from this mob. Oh, I've never seen anything like it.
I'm thrilled. I don't know what to say. I'm just lucky.
You ever come close before?
No, I never have.
Never dreamed about this one, I imagine?
I was hoping for it. I was just hoping to win.
What were you thinking about when they sent in Musial?
Oh, geez, I was scared because he's always hit me so good. I didn't know.
I'm going to ask you to turn around so you can see up there. What about Cunningham, an awfully dangerous hitter?
Hey, he's too tough to pitch to. I wouldn't want another man up there beside him. He's too rough.
Was your heart in your mouth when that ball went out there to left field?
The one in right field, too.
It was awfully well hit.
I know all of them. They came up with 4 good plays on me today, and they saved me.
Kendall made a nice one for you.
Kendall and Altman and Boucher and the one at Moose caught.
Did you ever shake Rice off?
Well, just to get the guy to thinking that we were going to throw another pitch.
But you stayed with his call all the time, actually.
Yeah.
When did you first realize it?
Oh, 5th inning.
5th?
Yeah. Some kids over there kept telling me that I'd retired so many in a row. Hey, I'm going to have to go. I'm
Did anybody talk about it?
No, nobody said anything. Thank goodness.
I don't know. I want to be sure that this guy, that he has a real good convoy here of ushers. Don, I tell you, I'm a little afraid to let loose of you right now.
Well, I tell you,
because they're having a tough time keeping this crowd away. And I'm afraid to turn you loose, because anything could happen.
I don't know what to say. I'm just thrilled to death. I'm just lucky. I'm glad the Lord was with me today.
Don, we know that you've got that terrific fastball. Did you throw anything much besides that today?
I threw a few curveballs and a few changeups.
Do you think you've ever been sharper?
Well, a few times.
But you had lady luck with you, too.
I did. And I had the Lord with me, too. He was on my side today. Hey, let me go. I'm going to get hurt in here.
Can we get some ushers here and help him out?
Let's go through this way. All right, Don, go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Well, as you can see, Don Cardwell, escorted by thousands and thousands and thousands of fans who just couldn't contain themselves, is being escorted now to the Chicago Cubs dressing room, a new dressing room, which this year is at the left field corner. I just can't remember a bigger thrill in baseball, and I'm sure that the fans here feel the same way about it. What a day to do it. With 33,543 paid admissions in the stands. The first time in a Cub uniform, just been traded, had only won 1 ball game this year, had only won 17 in his life in the major league. Don Cardwell came up with the most magnificent break-in performance we've ever seen a pitcher do. Now, it's also very coincidental that the no-hitter was thrown at a time when the Chicago Cubs needed it the most, and also at a time when the president of the National League was in the stands to watch it. Now, the last no-hitter that was thrown was actually the one by Harvey Haddix of Pittsburgh in the National League against Milwaukee, but of course Harvey lost that when he gave up a hit in the 13th inning and lost it. But the last no-hitter to stand up was thrown by Hoyt Wilhelm of Baltimore in the American League in 1958 against the Yankees. That same year, Jim Bunning of Detroit also got one. The last one before that was in the American League when Bob Keegan of the White Sox no-hit Washington. That was 1957. The last time we had a National League no-hitter where the winner was where the pitcher got the win was when Sal Magley, with Brooklyn then, no-hit Philadelphia in September of 1956. This is the second no-hitter in the history of Channel 9. In 1955, Sam Jones of the Chicago Cubs accommodated our 1,000th Channel 9 telecast by a no-hitter against Pittsburgh. And it's such a marvelous coincidence that we have the president of the National League, Warren Giles, here at the time this no-hitter was thrown. Now, Warren, I've just said that this is the most sensational break-in that any pitcher ever had with a new ball club, probably in the history of baseball.
Oh, by far, Jack, and I have never seen such a demonstration of enthusiasm at a baseball park, whether it was at the World Series or winning a pennant or anything else than I've seen on this field today. Fortunately, I saw Sam Jones' no-hitter here, too.
That's right, you did.
Yes.
You were here that day.
Yes, I was here.
I remember that very well. As a matter of fact, Warren, would it be possible for us to just give you write a rider to your contract and make you spend more time than ever at Wrigley Field from here on out?
I was sitting on the bench, Jack, just before the ball game, and Don was there. Don Cardinal and I were there all alone. And I said, well, boy, you're going to pitch in a good ballpark, and the wind is for you. And I said, do you feel strong? He said, yes, but I never felt quite so nervous before. And I
Nervous
said,
in front
yes,
of the very first pitch?
Yes. And I said, well, after you get the first man out, I said, all that nervousness will leave, yes. But he said, I wish I was out there right this minute. This will be about 5 minutes before the ball game.
I'm counting his strikeouts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts in the ball game. Of course, in the 9th inning, they were getting to him a little bit. Sawatsky sent Altman way back to the wall. Crow hit a routine fly to Richie Ashburn, but how about that catch that Moran made to save that no-hitter off that sinking liner by Joe Cunningham? John, come on in here. Here's John Holland.
One nice thing about this, Jack, is that too often things like this happen with only 2,500 or 3,000 people to see them, and it's great that this was on television, and also that 33,000 some odd people could enjoy it out here and participate in it, too.
Absolutely. John Holland, the general manager and vice president of the Cubs. John, you're the fellow who made the deal for Cardwell. Congratulations, boy.
Well, thank you, Jack. We didn't expect this, though.
Well, that's really something. Now, what were some of the things that were in Cardwell's favor when you dealt for him, and why, for example, did you pick him out of all the Philadelphia pitchers to try to deal for?
Well, he's young, Jack, and of course he has great stuff. We knew that. He's in a class, I'd say, right along with Anderson and Hobby. He fits into our program, but most of all, we felt that he was a fellow that could pick our staff up. Naturally, we didn't die on every pitch there that last inning, but I'm sure happy for him. Naturally, we didn't expect a performance like this, but this is just out of this world. I'm so excited I can't hardly talk about it.
Well, congratulations, John, and I'm congratulating the Cubs organization through you for the performance we've watched here this afternoon. This actually is just another demonstration of at least the way the ball clubs, not only in Chicago, but everywhere in baseball, try their best to please the fans and give them something that'll really give them a memory. Here's a memory now that every guy out here will take to his grave with him.
That's right,
The day
Jack.
that Cardwell pitched his first game in a Cub uniform and threw a no-hitter at the St. Louis Cardinals. That's really something.
Best of all, of course, Warren hit the nail on the head. That happens out here before 33,000 people. Usually these things happen with about 2,500 here, you know.
Well, you know, when they had that double no-hitter between Vaughn and Tony, there were only about 4,000 people at the park that day, but since that time, we've all talked to about 50,000 people personally who claimed they were there.
That's right.
John, congratulations, and we'll see you down in the Pink Poodle. There's going to be a little celebrating going on down there tonight. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take just one more moment here to extend, on behalf of WGN TV's personnel, a great big thank you to our gang for being able to get this guy on under impossible conditions. In the first place, our technical crew had the wire strung down there, ready for that mic cord to go out there. They doubled up with WGN radio. Arnie Harris of our gang went down and organized those anti-frame ushers. And between the technicians and the ushers and Vince Lloyd and Arnie Harris, even though there was an enthusiastic crowd numbering in the thousands of people down there, we were still able to get this fellow on first in the United States of America, just a matter of a minute or so after the no-hitter was official. And so on behalf of the WGN TV organization and the rest of the family, I want to thank you guys for one of the greatest jobs you've ever turned in. And it's just typical of the esprit de corps that makes up what I know to be the most outstanding television baseball crew in all the world. There's no doubt about it. So Don Cardwell threw a no-hitter for the sake of the record. For the Cubs, 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 4 runners on base. And for St. Louis, no runs, no hits, and no errors. And 1 man was left on base. That was Grammas, who walked in the first inning. Cardwell is now 2-2 for the year. The paid attendance, 33,543 absolutely hysterical fans. The Cubs got a split for the day. This winds up the homestand, and brother, what a wind-up. Everybody moves out to Sox Park Tuesday night for that night game with Boston. We'll see you Thursday with the White Sox out there at Comiskey Park. I'm Jack Brickhouse, and so far as Oklahoma and Hams are concerned, thank you very much for the privilege